We are only 4 months away from a new Super Smash Bros. It's always an event when these games come out. Looking at this month's Direct, there's one mode that they didn't show off. Blurred in, people think it makes out spirits. Is this the new adventure mode, something that was sorely missing from 3DS and Wii U? Most likely it's something along that category. But what should Smash Ultimate's adventure mode have? Well, let's go into that. Should there be cutscenes? Yes, there should be cutscenes in Spirits. I don't get Sakurai's excuse of, oh, people watch them on the internet, so we didn't put them into Smash 4. Which is kind of stupid. In today's day and age with the internet being a thing, what did you expect to happen? There definitely needs to be cutscenes. See this scene with Mario, Link, Kirby, Pit, and Yoshi together? This was video game Avengers before Avengers even came out. Cutscenes have been a thing in the series from the beginning, but now they've gotten more involved as time moves on and hardware gets more advanced. I definitely think there should be a story so that there's an endpoint for all the characters to get to. Let's take Mario Tennis Aces Adventure Mode, which had a grand total of 1 cutscene to watch! The rest were told in these character boxes, which I presume is for budget. But we should be past this sort of thing in today's HD age of gaming. This style of talking heads with speech bubbles is something I'd expect from a PS2 game, not an HD game. Which reminds me, how are you going to handle voice acting? Brawl got around this by having everyone not talk. Sometimes I think Nintendo's whole characters don't talk thing needs to go. It's inhibiting everything you can do with these characters. As far as what they can do, let's compare the two adventure modes, the one from Melee and the one from Brawl. The adventure mode from Melee has you go through specific sections of a world from Nintendo. You're doing something different, but with 25 characters it gets a little repetitive. The Subspace Emissary in Brawl is a largely linear adventure mode. You complete each stage, add more characters to your team by unlocking them, but here's the thing. All the enemies are largely original, which ties into the story, but it's disappointing for a game that celebrates Nintendo's history, though Smash seems to be evolving for video game history in general, but Nintendo is the forefront. So, I think a best of both worlds approach would be best. A combination of worlds that you visit with freedom to choose, and you go to each world, you fight enemies that that game's world has, and you encounter other characters from each world. People are now clamoring for Subspace Emissary to come back, even though I remember that when Brawl came out 10 years ago, holy crap, 10 years ago, there was actually a lot of criticism for the mode. Vindicated by history, I suppose? Let's say you go to Sonic's world. You recruit Sonic to your team, obviously, but you can also encounter non-playable characters like Tails, Amy, and Knuckles. And you fight bosses from the games like Dr. Robotnik, or Eggman. They seem to be hinting at boss battles being a thing, while with Dracula being in the Castlevania stage and Mega Man having Yellow Devil. But you know, that's the thing. Let me fight Dr. Wily in Mega Man's world. Let me encounter Roll, Proto Man, X, Zero. The boss battles in Subspace Emissary were a mix of old, like Porky and Ridley, but also new characters. So yeah, give me mostly characters from these classic games. Why do I think they didn't do an adventure mode for Wii U or 3DS? I suspect the real reason had to do with a lack of time. I mean, they were developing 2 versions, a 3DS and a Wii U version, and I imagine they just didn't have the time for a big story mode like before. But now, there's no excuse for not having some kind of adventure/story mode. Clearly they're keeping it under wraps for a reason. I honestly suspect we will hear more about this mode in October. Here's what I know. Sakurai said the starting roster will be all the original 8 from the Nintendo 64 game. So let's say you go to Mario's world. You start with Mario, you recruit Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Yoshi, and you fight Bowser as a boss, getting him to come with you. Each character fights an appropriate boss to them. Then in Zelda's world, you start with Link, you unlock Zelda, Sheik, although Sheik is Zelda, so I'm not sure how I'd work that around, and you unlock Young Link and Toon Link and Ganondorf. Personally, I'd also have Link start off in his blue champion's tunic, and then he gets the green tunic later on. Like how Samus started as Zero Suit in Brawl, but then became her armored look. Give me that sense of progression, that you're building up your army of characters. Let me see the worlds that this game is meant to be celebrating, but also, give me a story that can be entertaining. There definitely needs to be an endpoint, just don't do the Great Maze again. That was so repetitive. Definitely give me a grand sense of a final level, but make me feel like I've earned my fun. So give me cutscenes and just make it fun. Classic mode apparently has a specific set of opponents for each fighter to face, which is a step in the right direction, but give each character a unique ending, not just a random mini-movie. Because Classic mode is essentially arcade mode. You know how it works. You play as the character, you beat the final boss with them, you get their ending. That's your reward, so give me something unique. That's all I'm saying. Here's hoping it'll be good. I doubt Nintendo will listen to this as the game is already in development, but here's hoping I'm right.